This DVD is a production of the United Ostomy Associations of America. If you're watching this video, it's probably because you or someone you love is facing ostomy surgery. Or maybe you just went through it. I'd like to introduce you to some folks who've gone through something similar. Hopefully, they can address some of your concerns.
And he says, you know, you have more than a hemorrhoid, you have a tumor or cancer or something like that, just like that.
The doctors told me, that I was never going to live to see the age of, 10, 15, 20.
I went from being a normal, healthy 11-year-old to having my first blood test, my first rectal exam, my first colonoscopy.
It scared me. That scared me.
Scary to look at, to wrap your head around that fact.
I mean, you'd want to go for a walk around the block and you had no control of, it was miserable.
I was just too sick to hide anything anymore, and
I couldn't get to work. I'd have to turn around, go home and clean up. And
I would call my friends, my guy friends, and they would come carry me to the bathroom.
There were times I laid in bed, crying, thinking to myself, how am I going to get through this?
I know that was very hard for my family, and it was hard for everybody.
One of the first things I asked my doctor was if I'd still be able to do all the things that I normally do.
I was worried about my quality of life, what would I be able to do?
How to handle it, how to manage it.
I thought, well, gee, I'm not going to be able to do anything or go anywhere.
We didn't even know what an ostomy was and that she needed to have it to survive.
And he said, you'll have a permanent colostomy. And I said, colostomy, like the bag thing?
And that was something I definitely didn't want to happen.
He said, permanently?
And my thought was, I do not want an ostomy, something hanging off of me, and anything I could possibly do to keep myself, quote unquote, normal is what I wanted to try to do.
In my heart, I knew I had tried everything that made sense to me intuitively to be well, and nothing else was working.
I'm ready because I was that sick.
I could have chosen to ignore the disease and died, or I could take the surgery and live.
I would like to be around for a long time, and this is the only way that that's going to happen for me.
If it had not been done, I would not be here today.
Whether you have colorectal cancer, bladder cancer, inflammatory bowel disease, or for whatever reason, there are millions of people living with an ostomy around the world. My name's Bob Baker. I suffered for many years before I was willing to accept ostomy surgery.
And it's not so bad having a colostomy. I guess the only problem is I can't find shoes to match my bag. Well, I guess you can. You can. They just look like crap. It took about a year before I could joke about having colon cancer. And even these days now when I perform in comedy shows, I dare to go there with comedy because I want people to realize that colonoscopies are really important.
And it took me until about a year after my surgery before I really felt completely back to normal. And I tell people that. I think that's important to know that it's major surgery and it's a huge adjustment, body image adjustment, and you need to give yourself some time. So I feel that's part of my nursing role, my teaching role, is to use my experience to help others.
After spending years of telling people who were about to have this kind of surgery or who have had it, that they would be able to do everything they wanted to, I can attest to the fact that's absolutely true. I have an ileostomy, and so I'm not only president of the club, I'm a member of the club, if you will.
Good morning, Mrs. Ellis. My name's Emily, and I'll be your nurse today. I'll put my name up here where you can read it. Having an ostomy has really helped me be more active and enjoy the things I always kind of wanted to do. But even just having the energy for a little puppy was something I would have liked to have, but it would have been too much. I never envisioned myself as a jogger, but I do it at least 3 times a week anyway.
Even as a physician, giving anesthesia to any number of patients who've had ostomies put in, and you feel terrible, so terribly sorry for them. And I think most of it is based on ignorance, because I would give them anesthesia, then go home and I'd never know anything about their life after that. Lo and behold, they diagnosed me with Crohn's, and I reluctantly gave them permission, dreading the fact that I would wake up with an ileostomy. And I did. I was wondering if I'd ever play golf again. Now I play golf every day. So it didn't work out the way I thought it would. It was much better.
Jason and a lot of other kids get surgery at a really early age.
I do hockey, track, and basketball and soccer. Yeah, I can do swimming.
Water parks?
Water parks. I can do water slides on my belly.
Yeah, my girlfriends know that I have an ostomy. I told them in 2nd grade and they were like, doesn't matter. I see that you can do all these things, so you're fine. I like going and walking around and stuff with Dad. Things that normal average kids do.
I've lived with an ostomy my entire life. And, being 17 years old now, it's become second nature to me. I'm sure that there's a lot of people that are out there that are afraid to get the surgery because they think that it might hinder them from doing something that they really want to do. I play football on the weekends sometimes, Of course, my mom thinks I'm crazy doing that. It's just something that, I'm comfortable with, and an ostomy it doesn't prevent me from doing anything at all.
I'm a builder by trade, and I was very concerned about my livelihood. I worried about whether I could even climb a ladder. It gets pretty physical.
When you first start off, you're trying to cover things up and hide things because you're all self-conscious about it. But after a little bit of time, it's just part of you, and there's no issue with it. In the last 18 months, I started playing hockey again, checking league and everything. I am an active state trooper. I wear a 30-pound gun belt. Basically, I tell everybody what you want to do, you could do.
I am very much into fitness, and in California here we're really close to redwood forests. And locally here we have Mount Diablo, which is just a great mountain to climb, and it's just right in my own backyard. Deciding to have an ostomy is probably one of the best decisions of my life.
I've been rock climbing for about 2.5 years. I feel like I'm climbing better than I was when I was 34 and healthy and without an ostomy. I'm in a relationship with Jenny, and she's definitely my biggest fan. For instance, she comes to all my dragon boat races, and she's here today to even support me for the filming. Usually I just want to try to get to know somebody first. Once you establish sort of that personal connection, these other issues sort of become secondary.
It made much more of a difference to Jason than it did to me. I think we picked up right where we had left off, and activity's been great.
And now it's documented.
We've never skipped a beat with anything, and it's just reaffirmed how much we really love each other. We've been married for 32 years.
Intimacy has never really been a problem. My wife says that she really doesn't notice it. She lies a lot.
In a nutshell, it went from not being able to eat at all to being able to eat just about anything I want.
To be able to eat again, that was the biggest thing. Being able to eat again was really huge.
So I bet you're wondering what you might be able to do after ostomy surgery. Well, what do you love to do?
Caving is the thing that I love doing. After I recovered, now I can do this again. It's absolutely wonderful. I crawl through places, I go up and down on ropes to get into vertical caves. Well, it'd be a little tight to come up through here. Ted wants me to tell you that accidents do happen. Due to the action of the equipment in the ropes, I knocked the clip off the bottom of my pouch. So, are you gonna have accidents? Yes. Get over it, You clean up and you go on.
From Fayetteville, Tennessee, Tim Mitchell.
This is, I guess, is what you'd call my office while I'm working in racing. And this is something that I really enjoy and very glad that I was able to do it after I had my surgery. I realized that I was going to be back racing again. I was concerned about how I'd get in the car and how would the stoma affect me and everything. And as you can see, I have no problem with the belt going over my stoma.
I am age 66 now, and as an active farmer in the Midwest and running down a country road, the running was the way I could celebrate being healthy. I truly know that my new life began at the time of my ileostomy surgery in 1983.
Prior to surgery, I never would have dreamed of some of the things that I can do now that I couldn't do then.
Looking back on it now, I wish I would have done this years and years and years ago. It gave me my life back, it gave me my kids back, and it gave my kids a mom.
If you can make something good out of something traumatic, then you come back stronger than you could ever have imagined. I mean, you realize that you really can do anything if you put your mind to it. I started playing racquetball again. I didn't think I'd play again. And I was actually the #1 B amateur in Connecticut. So you just get out and do things and just don't let it hold you back because there's no reason for it to.
It's a huge adjustment to go from being the sick person to being the well person. I think that's the bigger adjustment than having an ostomy. But once you finally reach a point of accepting everything and feeling positive about everything, you kind of feel like you can climb over any rocks and hike up any mountains and just keep going from there.
That was Beth. She just got finished hiking the Appalachian Trail from Georgia to Maine. There's not much that's going to stop her, and we hope there's not going to be much stopping you. Staying positive is the most important thing to focus on.
I focused on exercise, staying healthy, eating healthy, living a healthy lifestyle, getting back into the water as soon as quickly. And I was back surfing about 4 months later. Granted, it was taking it very easy and small waves and things like that. Since then, I've bounced back 100%, and it really has had almost no impact on my life.
The UOAA is an association of affiliated nonprofit support groups committed to improving the quality of life of people who have or will have an intestinal or urinary diversion. Through the affiliated support groups, there are volunteers ready and able to help you with any questions that you may have. For more information or for additional resources, contact our website at uoaa.org or call us at 1-800-826-0826.
I saw the doctor so much in that time of preparation. I started calling him the Rear Admiral. Not to his face, just, for fun. And then the morning of surgery, the Rear Admiral comes in and I had to ask him, do you think it's really a good day for surgery? And he said, why do you ask? I said, well, you've got those little pieces of tissue stuck to your face.
There's, proms to go to and college to go to and a career. He could be a vet if he wants to. He could do what he wants.
People are surprised when they meet Linda and I. They say, oh, you must be the one without the ostomy. And I say, no, I'm the one that has the ostomy. Oh, then you must be the one without the ostomy. No, and people are so surprised to find out, oh, you both have ostomies. Well,
It's had no negative impact on the way I've conducted my life. I've been able to camp, to work, to deal with the public. I've worked in social service for a lot of years. To do the physical activities that I want to be involved in, wear the clothes I want to wear.
I had a perfectly normal pregnancy. I delivered my daughter via C-section only because she was breech, not anything to do with the Crohn's or the ostomy. And she was 9 pounds, 11.5 ounces, and she's perfectly healthy to this day.
I decided that I'd been given a gift of life again. So I'm looking at a picture now of myself 2 years ago when I weighed 93 pounds more.
Felt great ever since, and other than the pains of hiking up and down mountains sometimes, but overall it's enabled me to go